Greetings from the Lake Harriet Rose Garden. Looking at the beautiful flowers has inspired me to share with you something that I call flowering fingers. And it has to do with how we come into what's often commonly known as prayer pose in English, in Sanskrit Anjali Mudra, how we place our hands together. And it's actually, I'm going to go into a little detail in this one because it's fascinating that how we place our fingers, what parts of our hands touch each other first, affects how we connect and can really embody this action. So what am I talking about? Bear with me with these details. When we are developing as humans from a young age, we have a lot of parts of our body that are cartilage and haven't turned into bone yet. And part of what happens is by pressure, by crawling, we create the bone by the pressure. Now, often we think of we grow from down to up, but actually with the hands and the fingers, the bone growth first happens at what's called the distal level, which is the tips of the fingers, and then it goes to the proximal, which is the base area of the fingers, and then only in the middle comes last. So the distal, the proximal, and the medial is how our fingers actually develop into strong bones. So sometimes with an embodied anatomy practice, what we do is go back to how the body originally developed, and that allows us to feel more deeply into the posture and feel more deeply into our whole being. So sometimes when I practice this, working on my hands, my fingers, but I feel it holistically, like a rose that brings a beautiful scent and has a perfect sense of presence. So here's how we're going to do it, or I guide you to do it, is first bring the base of your palms together and then bring the base of the fingers together, this part of your hand right here. So first we're going to just bring the palms together to prepare the fingers. Then feel your feet grounding down, encourage your spine to line up, and then bring all your fingertips together and begin to press them in towards each other. Now you can do this one finger at a time, but when you don't have as much time, you can do all the fingers. But since you're watching this, let's do one finger at a time. So really press the very tips of the fifth fingers into each other, then the very tips of the fourth fingers, the third fingers, and the second fingers. Now go to the base of the fingers and begin to press those into each other. The base of the fifth, the base of the fourth, the base of the third, the base of the second. And now last but not least, press the middle into each other. The middle, fifth, fourth, third, second, and then lengthen the thumbs. The thumbs only have 2 sections, the rest of the fingers have 3. So as you press them into each other, you may begin to feel some sensations in the back body. Take a few breaths here. Continue to return to this. Find now the distal part, the fingertips, press those into each other. Find the base of the fingers, press that into each other. Find the center, the medial, and as you press the medial, encourage the fingers to grow, the shoulder blades go down your back. Breathe, a little bit greater connection to the hands. So this is something you can do when you bring your palms together, but also when you place your hands on the ground. Downward facing dog, you can still do that flower, what I'm calling the flowering fingers. Whenever you do an arm balance, it will help you connect to your whole body. And then, if you're standing, palms together, you can then flower them up, spread them out, let them be free as you enjoy the rose garden.